Okay, we are back. This time I want to talk about something which I guess this is more for the younger people who are growing up in this sort of era of gaming, I guess. And what I want to talk about is what is AAA gaming, because now I was born in '92, okay? So try to imagine how long ago that was, right? That was, you know, there were dinosaurs walking around and stuff back then. Nintendo just began to occur then. So there was no such thing as AAA gaming. There was barely even such a thing as gaming. You know, I grew up with a Nintendo Entertainment System in my hands, and for computer gaming we had oh no, it's Go On! No wait. No wait, I'm not ready for Go On at all. What have I got in my inventory? I've got one bomb in my inventory. Okay, we're gonna cheese this, so hang on, hold that thought. Okay, we are back, and I'm being hassled by an insect. Get out of my way. No! Open! There we go. Okay, I came with weapons. Let's just put that back, and put those there. Oh, I can put multiples in. That's great. That's more like it. That should be enough to kill everything in this whole dungeon. Do not. Okay, how do I show this? That's how. Okay. Oh, I got them both. Phew. Well, that was fun. Alright, so, phew, yeah, I figured. I think there's only one level with her, so hopefully we can just make really quick work of it. I don't care about any of the items, I just want to get through it and get this dungeon done with and get on with. Oh, mustache key. That's basically a skeleton key. Ay. Oh yes, we were talking about AAA gaming. So, yeah, once upon a time there wasn't such a thing as AAA or indie. Basically all games were indie. They were just made by a couple of people, even like a small team, you know, and there were none of these mega studios. There was just publishers who had the core technology that they owned, like Nintendo had the Nintendo Entertainment System, Atari was a computer and also a console, and you have the Commodore, you have Windows, you have... Oh, I just blew myself up! For frick's sake, man! Oh no! I have erred terribly! Whew. Also, for anybody else playing the Retroid, it seems like most games will work just fine on standard. You don't even need to. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Key, come on down. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, Beast Buster. Alright, where's the Flaffy? Flee, fly. Drop something, please. Plant Buster. I mean, I'll take it, but I only have 3 bombs left? Come on. Oh my gosh. This is not looking good. I may have to exit and restock again. I might be able to plink things to death, but it would be really annoying. I don't have to do that. Just give me the freaking... There's the owl. That's the exit at least. Oh man. Okay, so yeah. Just try and focus. Hopefully I don't have to do this all over again. There we go. Oi! That's the thing! A chestnut. Let's see if this is what they want. Please don't this be the item. And let's just get out of here. I don't care about any of the loot whatsoever. I just want to get to the next level, please. I want to beat Matataki. No! Alright, I have 2 guesses left, and then I have to go out and get some more bombs or struggle. I think I'm still using the basic weapon. I haven't even trained. How much damage does this do? Nothing. So I can sit here and just plink it forever. Anyway, let's talk about AAA gaming. It doesn't exist. It's made up. it turns out you can just make up vocabulary, and that is the heart of it, is that we live in a time of ultra marketing, where people just invent the way that they want reality to be by inventing words. And AAA and indie, both in heavy quotes, are exactly that. They're instances of somebody decided to make a new reality that actually wasn't reality. Okay, so I'm going to equip this, and I'm going to repair both of them, because I have plenty of repair stuff. But back in the day, you know, you were just a game. It wasn't even like a game company, really. I think it kind of was. There was early game companies, but very early. And mostly the games just kind of were it. They were presented with a title in much the same way any other program would be. Oh, that's not too bad. That was doing some damage. I thought it was being much worse since I hadn't trained, but this is okay. I can deal with this. Yeah, but then, you know, at some point, I would say, like, late 90s, early 2000s, corporate types realized that people wanted to buy games and wanted to play games. It wasn't just like an extra feature that would go on a computer. Because back in the day, you know, having games on was just like a neat feature, but you know, you got a computer for working on. The coolest example that I could think of off the top of my head is my brother just brought home this, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's basically a very, very early Macintosh. And it's this teeny tiny computer, and it's little, and it's square, and it's really, really cool, actually. And it just had like a sampling of games on it as like a technical show-off for what it could do. Oh man, I gotta repair already. And that's it. It was just like a little, you know, show-off aspect to show that yes, it can do graphics and it can do all this sort of dumber crunching, but it wasn't what it was really for. So, yeah, that's kind of early gaming. This was just kind of like a concept. Like, yeah, you know, in the 70s, the most gamey thing we had was, I say we, I did not exist in the 70s, as aforementioned. Yeah, you would do, like, tabletop games at most, or you were playing, like, pool, or some card game, like Bridge, or Mahjong, or some board game, Monopoly. And that's it, that's what a game is. So the first RPG, arguably the first RPG, would be like Dungeons & Dragons, also on a board game. So then, with the advent of better programming languages, because yes, languages themselves are invented, oof, which is a weird concept to think of. You think of, like, whoa, computers and phones and all these technologies are sort of just existent of their own accord, but no, they're really cautiously developed over a long period of time, and the languages themselves were invented by somebody and continue to be invented. That's the Digimon telling me that it needs food, but I don't care. Silence. What? You can't have it. Yeah, so even languages, like if you learn a programming language, you could be one of the people who are actually developing a language. So like the first languages that were developed was, are you kidding me? The prickly got me! Of all the stupid frickin'... Oh, no! I'll be back with more explosives. It would probably actually be a lot easier to just train this character, but I am determined not to, because I always do. I wanted to do things differently this time. So, anyway, what I was trying to get at is, before I got a little distracted by how cool it is that you can literally just invent your own programming language, is that, yeah, all games used to be more or less indie. They were funded by, you know, large publishers, but that's still a thing, even with, you know, indie. You can get picked up as an indie artist by a bigger publisher, at least a little bit bigger, and potentially you know, also publish your games on marketplaces of a big company. So it's, you know, there doesn't have to be this cutaway between indie and getting your game out there in front of a lot of people. But that's not my point. My point was that somebody just literally one day decided we need to differentiate ourselves conceptually from what we will now call indie and other game creators. And so they called it AAA. But AAA originally was basically just big money grabbing onto the easiest genre in the world to create, which is a shooter. And not even making a good shooter. As somebody who grew up with boomer shooters, as they're now called, unfortunately, those were fun. They were really fast-paced, they were multiplayer, they didn't drag you around by the nose, they had really different kinds of stories too. Like, my favorite one is probably Blood and the original Quake. And those two are both more or less about cult summoning evil demon things. One's more Cthulhu inspired than the other. Obviously, you don't have to guess which one. Hopefully you know. But then with Quake 2 and that sort of 2000s, late 2000s period, we see a shift towards modern shooters, which is more about familiar warfare settings and just basically shooting things. Oh, I gotta change my slide here. There, that's how you do it. Got them both. Nice. Oh, looks like it got up for a second. So I have two things. I might actually be able to exit, and that would be nice. Yeah, so I mean, it was really popular at the time. These quote-unquote AAA games, because yeah, it pushed the level of graphics, which going from, like, say, even this game has pretty nice graphics, but you can see everything's pretty, like, flat. You can see what's sprites and what's not. It's got pretty rough edges. Whereas then, like, you look at Kingdom Hearts videos, you know, the animations for Kingdom Hearts. How much is the next level, right? Yeah, so I can switch over to tone. Cool, we're back at it. You know, there was room at the time for graphical improvements, and that was the selling point. It went from, like, say, PS1 graphics and, you know, early PS2 graphics like this to actual, like, decently realism, like what we have today, which is really common today, and you could do it for, like, free on Unity. So that was the selling point of these AAA games, was, oh, they've got this big push for graphics. Whoa, that's not really fair, but okay. Get out of here, man. Jeez, that's good to know. Level 5, they're appearing now. Yikes. Yeah, and that's all anybody talked about it at the time. They didn't talk about, like, how great the stories were, or how touched they were by the depth of these games, or how much they meant to them, or how much they grew as a person because they played these games and experienced these stories, or they shared them with their friends, or anything. It was just a shooter. So, yeah, you did a good shooty. That's it. I recently watched somebody who grew up with these games, with these shooters, and that was basically their attitude, was, you know, playing these games didn't really leave them with any lasting stories to tell. And it made them bad at other games because all they knew how to do good was shoot. And other games actually have, like, plots, or quick-time events, or real-time combat, where, like this, where you actually have to fight things. So, yeah, but it was pushed by marketing as the next best thing. So basically, big giant companies with lots of money made the easiest to make games in the world, and then sucked up all the credit of being the next best thing and biggest thing in gaming. When all they were doing were making the cheapest games possible, badly, might I add you, as, again, somebody who grew up with boomer shooters and how cool and fun those were, and multiplayer. And they actually had cool stories and worlds and stuff to basically just real-world setting, shooting real-world people, and Yeah, pointlessness. Sorry. And it just got pushed. It was just a marketing thing, because those games weren't objectively better than, like, say, whoa, now, get out of here with that. Yeah, those games were not objectively better than any indie game you could possibly think of at any point in time, either old school or now. You know, Call of Duty has been pushed to the top because of marketing. It's not actually a better game than, I don't know, Stardew Valley, or this game, Dark Cloud, you know, but it gets rave reviews because marketing. And there's actually there's a psychological term for this, where there's a perfect balance in marketing, where if you hear about something enough, you get really excited about it, and it's like just a human response, basically. So they're just tweaking our, like, brain matter to force this crud on us and tell us that it's the future, when actually, no, it's just marketing, and it was never actually that good of a product at all, other than graphics, I guess. But who really cares about realistic graphics if there's, like, no artistic vision behind it, or there's no story behind it, or there's no gameplay behind it? It's just like being stuck on a roller coaster, or, yeah, it's fun, it has its programmed ups and downs for you to feel, but it's never different, and it's never an adventure. There's nothing to explore, because you can't get off the track. And that's ultimately what AAA has and always will be. It's this roller coaster, linear process of carefully planned stuff where they allow you to have fun according to the rules that they laid out and can control according to what their marketing team decided would be the most effective, sellable product, not what is an innovative and good gaming experience. They don't understand what that is. They just understand numbers. And yeah, and it's not fun. Woof, that was close. It never has been fun, and frankly, I don't like quote-unquote good graphics, personally. I'd rather see something that looks like a human made it. Ugh, another one of these. Yeah, like, I've never been interested in the good graphics, and I remember growing up when PS2 and going into PS3, people would be like, oh, but you can see the sweat on such and such a person's head. And it's like, yeah, but why would I want to see why? I could go to, like, a gym and see sweat on people's heads. Why do I want to pay, you know, $60 to look at some fake person sweat? I just want a game that will take me out of the real world for a little while and give me something to explore and something else to think about. You know? And these mainstream games, these AAA mainstream games are, oh, I got it the first time. They're bad. They always were bad, but they were marketed to tell you that they're good. And that is AAA in a nutshell. It's nothing good, it's just marketing. Anyway, this has been a dissertation on why you should despise AAA gaming despite good graphics, because good graphics don't make a good game. Anyway, next time we will talk about the hilarious mess that is quadruple gaming, which is what all this was leading up to. So, have a good rest of the week, and like and subscribe, and bye!